Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop Amazon, and when you do, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon or click the Amazon link on our website. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program. Now, on with the show.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar.
Jess.
All eyes on Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge. Last night it kicked off the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, and I think everyone was, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Run DNC.
No, it wasn't Run DNC.
Big concert.
But everyone wanted to know what was on Bernie's mind.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of stuff going on, and so we got to get today. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Bernie Sanders.
How are you?
Hi, Bernie.
Great to be with you. Let me read my notes.
Please.
Rob, Oscar, Ponyboy, and assorted interns.
Let me start by saying you did great last night.
Thank you. What about this heat? I have to make a statement before we get underway. I can't believe this heat. There is no fabric softener that can prevent chafing in a wool suit. It's not been invented. It never will be. I am very frustrated. The heat, global warming, is a significant problem for all of us. But global warming right now is causing my skin to slough off to the bone.
Oh.
Bernie.
Hello, Oscar. Thank you. And may I say,
Yes.
congratulations on your recent completion of the Masters of Business Administration at the Robert F. Smith School. Is it F?
Robert H.
Oh.
Robert H.
Let me congratulate you on your recent completion of a Masters of Business Administration at the Robert F. Smith
H.
Robert H. Smith School of Business.
Thank
we
you,
are.
Bernie. Thank you.
Bernie, when you
Thank
talk,
God.
you almost seem like you're pausing for applause. Are you expecting us to clap?
I don't expect anything from you, Spiewak,
Okay.
other than to raise yourself up
Oh.
to the degree that your brother has, furthering his own education. Now, we all know that in the Spiewak household,
Right.
it is a dead-end series of alcohol and bad television.
Right.
But I have faith that you, Rob Spiewak, will someday raise yourself up. But that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Okay.
Soon I will be going home.
Oh, you sound sad.
Soon my campaign will officially be over. I will be retiring to my home in Vermont.
You mentioned this. You mentioned this heat, Senator Bernie Sanders. I'm wondering.
That's my name.
I'm sorry. I'm wondering.
You like to be referred to by all three words,
Yes.
don't you?
You can call me Bernie.
Bernie. I'm
Yes.
wondering if the heat in Vermont is at all been changed, like the heat's been changed here in the D.C. and Philadelphia area.
As you know, up in Vermont, we have
Where?
Vermont, we have a slightly more temperate climate.
Right.
Due to the fact that we are further to the north, where the Canada border is, and therefore we are not as hot as our nation's capital, or in this particular case, Philadelphia. May I make another point?
I wish
Yes.
you would.
The top 1% of hotels in the United States
Right.
only serve two kinds of juices, orange and tomato. I challenge you, try to get pruned. And in most hospitality operations, they laugh you right out of the building.
Do you like prune juice?
Prune juice is not a question of whether I like it. It is more a question of function. And let me say, based on that,
Yes.
this is not a campaign.
Yes, Senator
This-
Bernie Sanders?
This is a movement. And speaking of movements, we must get prune juice into the kitchens of every major hotel in America.
Is this? All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is this just Philadelphia or is this countrywide?
What?
Is this just in Philadelphia or all around the country?
Every hotel.
Every hotel.
Get up in the morning.
Yes.
I challenge you. Walk down to the local breakfast nook, cafe, whatever. Some of them simply have little breakfast areas off the lobby. And say, "Hi, I'm Bernie Sanders. Would it be too much of a problem to get just a small juice glass filled with Sunsweet prune juice? And you may as well be speaking a foreign language like ISIS."
Now, what about the fact that in an effort to remarket prunes, in some places now they're calling them dried plums? Don't
Well,
you think
there
that's
you are.
fakery?
Fakery is you confusing the issue by making it more complicated than it needs to be. I will not answer that. I will
Bernie.
not deign to respond to that. Yes, hello?
What about the access to Boniva?
Boniva is wonderful. My wife, Jane, uses it on a regular basis, and as everyone knows, her bones are bigger and stronger than they have ever been. As a matter of fact,
Yes.
I have never been to a campaign rally where someone has not mentioned to me, "Hey, that wife of yours is certainly big bone." Now, I don't have much time. I've got more interviews to move on
Yeah,
to.
I understand. You've been very generous with your time.
I have not said this publicly,
Oh.
but I have said it in private. There is nothing that I would rather be doing than sitting back at home in my bath with Epsom salts and a single vanilla-scented candle playing my favorite game, Bernie Makes the Bubbles.
That's really?
There was not enough time to address the issues, the thousands of issues that I
Many,
had.
yeah.
You heard about the ones that I had to talk about all the time, promoting universal health care, also making sure college tuition is free for anyone that wants it. All these issues are significant, but there are smaller issues.
What kind of issues?
Smaller.
So these
Like-
smaller issues, are they still important even though they're smaller?
They are. For example, like, why does Wednesday always have to be Italian night? And reducing the national speed limit to 45 miles per hour. One of my chief causes that will result in much less stress for senior citizen drivers around the United States. And I have to leave you with this.
Yes.
The media. I've talked about it. I mentioned it in my speech last night. You tell me why it's impossible for any major network to run any episodes of Murder, She Wrote, or Matlock, or This Old House, or The Night Stalker with Darren McGavin, or any of the great old shows that I love so much. You can't get quality television and syndication anymore. It's all this reality crap that I don't like to watch on the road. Bring back some of the great, wonderful syndicated programming that I enjoy watching, like Reba, or Dynasty, or Dharma and Greg, or The Nanny with Fran Drescher, or Tales from the Crypt, or Fantasy Island, or The Courtship of Eddie's Father, or Combat, or Hazel, or the Hazel. Just please explain to me why we can't do this. I will say to you,
Yes.
my final words to you,
Yes.
the Mike O'Mara Show,
Final words.
that one movie marathon, television show marathon would bring us all together.
Oh, there's
Just-
one that could do it?
Just one show
What is
would
it?
show all Americans that we are stronger together. Just one show would bridge the gap, narrow the divide, and unite us as citizens like no other country.
That sounds
I think it's-
fantastic.
Thank you, Rob. I think it's probably pretty obvious what that TV show is.
What is it?
The Jerry Springer Show.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Here I am. Am I here? You know it. You know. This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy doing the nasty to your ears to the nasty. Eyes only play the platters that matter, the matters they platter. And that's the root. Doing the yin and the yang, the hip and the hop, the stupid fresh thing, the flippity flop. I have today's forecast for you. Hot!
Okay, I'll tell you, it was really hot today. It was so hot today, I saw a robin dipping his worm in nest tea.
Isn't it just lousy hot today? Here's how hot it is. I get on the subway this morning and I saw a rat eating a Dove bar. It's that hot.
Really? It was so hot today, I saw a pigeon walking in the shadow of Orson Welles.
What's the weather like out there? It's hot. Damn hot. Real hot. Hotter than this is my shorts. I can cook things in it. Little crotch pot cooking. Can you tell me what it feels like? Fool, it's hot. I told you again. Were you born on the sun? It's damn hot. What do you think it's going to be like tonight? It's going to be hot and wet. That's nice if you're with a lady, but it ain't no good if you're in the jungle.
It was so hot today that Burger King was singing, "If you want it your way, cook it yourself."
Only in New York is a sure sign of summer. I was walking on my lunch hour through Central Park. My hand to God, this is a true story. It's so hot and sunny outside, I saw a squirrel rubbing sunblock on his nuts.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his office chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Pfeiffer Room in the heart of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. On the air and online everywhere, the Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and internet broadcast with the greatest listeners in the universe because they get it. And if you're here, you will too. Our phone line's always open at 888-920-MORE. That's 888-920-6673. When we're on, you can call us anytime. Our show today brought to you by MeUndies. Woo! No matter how you're dressed, you spend almost 24 hours a day in your underwear. How appropriate is this client for this particular show on this particular day? Chances are your underwear is boring and, more importantly, uncomfortable. Luckily, MeUndies is here to change all that. Every pair of MeUndies is made from Modal. Ooh. Modal is a sustainably sourced fabric. It is twice as soft as cotton, twice as soft. You have to feel it to believe it. Words cannot describe the fit and feel of MeUndies, but once you try them, you will understand why they're called the world's most comfortable underwear. And if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free! Free! No questions asked. Plus, MeUndies has dozens of styles, even limited edition prints that will make sure your underwear is never boring, whether anyone can see them or not, everybody. Shipping is free in the U.S. and Canada, and you can save up to $8 a pair with MeUndies subscription plan. Get the subscription or a single pair. I will tell you, I am wearing MeUndies, and they are delightful. Not going to show them to you today. Don't
You're
feel
welcome,
like it.
ladies.
Get the subscription or a single pair. Either way, you get 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/TMOS. That's MeUndies.com/TMOS for 20% off your first order. Do it today. MeUndies.com/TMOS. Yes, I am a political junkie, and I'm in my second week of absolute saturation viewing.
Sweeps week for you.
Yeah, it's I will
the
tell
Super
you.
Bowl. This is your telethon.
Yeah, the Republicans had a smaller room, and the Democrats have a larger room, and I'm talking about the venue where the convention's being held, and therefore it's kind of driving me nuts this week because I think based on sheer numbers, I think they're saying maybe a few thousand more people are at the convention this week, and it's very frustrating I hate when people are speaking and you just hear that murmur, and people aren't
it's like they're
paying
at the bar.
attention. Yeah, it really sucks.
If you ever go to a concert and you hear people at the bar just drinking and laughing,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, hello.
It sucks. It sucks.
Senator Bernie Sanders is at the podium.
Yeah, what do you need to get your attention, pal?
So that's kind of a drag. But the thing, it's almost comical when you see the cutaway shots, and you will see the people that you see somebody in a hat that looks like a giant piece of romaine lettuce, and they're texting. They're just sitting up there texting
or catching Pokemon.
Hey, that might be happening as well. But that's not what kept me up last night. What kept me up last night was the discussion we had yesterday that I really felt, Rob, I know you're going to hate this, but I felt like we left you off the hook. We let you off the hook a little bit yesterday.
How do you mean?
Because, look, we were talking about it yesterday. Mrs. O'Mara, who is, as you know, Rob, your biggest fan.
BS.
And so we were talking
Early
about
on, she just determined me a dork and wrote me off just because I don't care much for her dog. Her is great. She's wonderful.
No,
That
fine.
dork.
That dork. The thing about it is, we were talking about the fact that Oscar was getting his MBA. He was graduating, and I was down here getting my, my brand new bionic hip.
Yes.
And the fact is, and by the way, let me show you. Do you like to see? Like to see my Tim Kaine?
Mike, that's the fancy folding model.
That's like the Fast and the Furious blue.
Well, I got it yesterday, and
is that the kind
way,
that when you take it out of its holder, it automatically assembles?
I don't know.
Like a transformer?
Yeah, it's got like a bungee cord down the center, so when you break it down and fold it, it goes into
How
a
do
case.
you know so much about canes?
I know this
It's
cane.
the diabetes, Mike. You've been holding for us.
There you go.
You know what? Sometimes you just leave him lie because who's going to ruin the fact that he's happy for one day? That's great. He's with his family, and for once his father's not disappointed. I'm not going to ruin that.
No, well, here's the deal. My Dr. Salsa came in. Oh, I got to get my...
Who?
Dr. Salsa.
Hold
What's
on,
his name?
I don't have my soundboard up. Hold on. Pad for a minute. I got to get it.
Mike is new physical therapist. Yeah. He had a lady he didn't care for.
Yeah.
And then he got Dr. Salsa.
Well, Dr.
What's the
Salsa came.
lanyard for?
Dr. Salsa
The
came
wrist, I
yesterday.
think.
Dr. Salsa came yesterday, and Dr. Salsa was an hour and 15 minutes late.
Oh, after everything
Oscar.
you said earlier.
One of yours.
Yep.
Now, it should be noted that I moved the time because we started work again this week, and so I moved the time from 9 o'clock in the morning till between 4 and 5. They give you an hour window.
Okay.
And here's what I think. All these people think that you're just this totally infirmed mass of flesh sitting on a couch somewhere, and you're not going anywhere, which is probably true in most cases.
For most people,
but
sure.
still, respect the clock. How many times have I told Oscar Santana,
Oh, my God.
respect the clock?
Too
for
many.
God's
The
sake.
problem is, Mike, is that when you get to the 4 o'clock hour, that's very close to siesta. And a lot of times the afternoon can get away from you.
There you go. He had to
Also, it's the DNA makeup of a Latin man. We've got the little chromosome that says,
Yeah.
hey, once in a while you're going to be late.
results in Latin time.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Latin people time.
But here's the great news. At the
LPT.
end, first of all, he added exercises, which were a bit of a ball buster yesterday. But at the end, he's walking out the door, and my little guy goes, "Hey, Dr. Salsa." It's really cute. And Carla says, "So when's he going to be able to get on that cane?" And as an afterthought, Dr. Salsa looked over his shoulder and said, "Oh, he can get on use the cane now. The Walker, you go. You can go away." Yeah. So
Ahead of schedule, yes?
4 days ahead of schedule, Rob Spiewak. Yes.
That's great.
As one of our listeners wrote online yesterday, I am the beast. Thank you very much. Yes. Moving right along. So we're chugging along with that. So
I think
How's
you
the
can
cane
get
working?
the
Good?
lanyard, Oscar,
Yeah.
that's hanging from the cane. That's for his AARP swipe card.
Oh.
But, Mike, I
no,
think if you...
that is for putting around your wrist so that you don't drop the cane
When you fall?
But there's one element of this cane that I went with because
What?
I'm a wuss. This is the real old man.
What?
This is the old man part.
Oh, no!
That's
Oh,
the
the
end.
3-point cane?
I don't have confidence in one
Mike, you're
little
so much
nipple.
better than that.
So the bottom
I'm
of your
wobbly.
cane, where there should just be a rubber tip,
Here's
looks like a 4x4-inch triangular coaster.
Let me tell you what
Wonky
the benefits
Mike.
are. Yeah, I know. There are two benefits to this. Now, I didn't get the one with the 4 big giant prongers. I didn't get, but I got this
You
one.
went with the sports model.
Good for you, Mike.
Can I tell you when I went to the
He went to the GT.
when I went to the You're Soon Gonna Die store
Yes.
yesterday, when I went into the You're Soon Gonna Die store, they didn't have a lot of variety, and I had a choice of 2 canes. It was this with the 3-pronger or a single nipple on the bottom of it, but the cane. You know what the design on the cane was?
What?
Kittens. I'm not buying a cane with kittens on it. I'm not going to do that for
No,
Christ's sake.
that would be embarrassing.
That's not happening. No. Shut up.
Mike, when you go to this store to pick out your cane,
How happy is he that we're off the subject of Zoolander and
Oh,
on
it
to
was
Michael?
great.
I'm just curious.
Phenomenal.
When you go there, how many handicap spots are there out front?
I don't use them.
I didn't ask if you did. I'm just wondering if there's a lot of them.
They're like normal. It's like 2 or 3, and I
Okay.
don't use them because I'm a stand-up guy, and I believe that.
Well, if you have a cane, you are. Yeah.
I have not used the cane
Since your surgery.
Since the surgery, I have
the
not
parking
used.
spot.
I have not used a handicap thing. Now, does she roll me up to the, to the restaurant or the
it's
Costco
called
or
the
something
Princess
like that?
Drop-Off.
Do I use the? I used this rascal scooter twice last week. I used it.
Mike, I was wondering about that because you briefly mentioned that in a pre-show meeting,
Right.
and I wonder how I would feel if I saw Radio's Mike O'Mara scooting up and down on that rascal.
You'd be sad. You'd be sad,
Yeah,
like so many
like
of our
time-
listeners would.
No, I would not be sad. I would
Yeah, you'd be
cheer the
sad.
fact that we still have you.
Yeah. Hey, look,
It is
it's
a
the
blessing.
reality. It's my and look, I plan. By the way, when this is all done, I plan. This is it. I'm not looking back. This is the next thing it's going to be will be me coming in one day, probably 20 years down the road, and I will say, "Hey guys, how you doing? How was your weekend? Oh, it was." And then it's all over. And then we have the 14,000 people at the funeral. We'll have it. We'll have it at the local CVS down here. It'll be fantastic. It'll be a great
A rooftop
time, so.
gathering.
A rooftop gathering. I really.
We'll scatter your ashes at the Mad Fox Brewery.
I am. I'm getting this done because I don't want to look back. This is the lost summer. This is the summer where, gonna get the left one, gonna get the right one, gonna be out there, gonna be doing bike marathons, gonna be doing all that stuff.
Wow.
I'm gonna be kicking ass, and I'll be chasing my little guy
Those
around. That's why.
antidepressants really kicked in, huh?
This is a Steve Austin type thing I'm doing here, gentlemen. This is not. I am not your normal elderly person. Okay, but if you did see
Call
me,
yourself the Bionic Man.
Yeah,
I will. I'm partially artificial. I am partially
Well,
artificial.
Mike, you've already have pieces of a corpse in you. This is just a small step.
Well, I've got a corpse knee, and
That's
now
right.
I've got a bionic hip, and I might have another one.
Could
if you,
someone
if I get-
in our listening audience please Photoshop an AI Mike?
Oh, since you talked about Photoshop, all right, here it is. I have to do this once in a while. We've gotten them before. If I get one more Photoshopped, the bar in Florida that has the rascal
the rascal
scooter out
scooter is
front,
in front
of
I'm
Mike's.
sorry, you're going to be unfriended. You're going to be unfriended because I've gotten 750 of them, and I'm not doing it again. You're screwed if you do that. So if you send that to me, you're screwed. Okay, Mike's bar with the
Mike's
rascal.
Bar, okay.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. I'm going to get 750 pictures of rascal scooters today.
Now,
they're not fast enough, by the way. They're not fast. No, they're not fast.
You know what you need to get is one of those new riding suitcases. Have you seen those?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be doable based on the flexation.
I see.
Or you can only go so far with your knee right after you get this done. But this is, God damn it, this is exciting for me to have this thing, and it gives you, as soon as you get off the the big old man walker, you're flying around. It's great. I'm
So
very, very
I'm looking.
excited.
Is it
I'm
adjustable?
flying around. I'm super deluxe peppy a-holes.
I'm looking at it. It looks like it's not a folding cane, though. It has an adjustable height thing. Is that the deal?
It has an adjustable
Like crutches.
I haven't really played with it that much, so it has, and I love the lovely purple color.
Was it blue?
Fuchsia.
No, it's purple. You can't see on the camera. It's purple. So it looks blue on the camera, but it's really purple.
I think that
haven't
you're
played
going to
with it
have
yet.
with the 3 prongs on the bottom. You're going to have a problem doing what really great cane users do. Like my Uncle Sam was able to hit elevator buttons and point to
yeah.
things. If you can really use it, then it becomes a part of you. As a matter of fact, even when you get both knees done, it could be a fashion accessory.
But my dad had one for years and actually liked to use it as a weapon and hit people with it.
Nice.
I told you that
No.
story when we went to the Hartford Whalers Boston Bruins hockey game, and my dad was in back of me. At least he thought he was, but I was actually in back of my dad. And there was another leprechaun-looking dude my exact age with one of those red fuzzy beards in front of my father, wearing the exact same sport coat that I had. And we're walking out, and it's super crowded. And my old man goosed this kid hard, like right on his bell, and nailed him. And the kid turned around, and we laughed about that for hours. It was,
That's pretty great.
big fun with the old town team. I feel as though this is 4 days ahead of
Big
schedule.
step in the
That's
right
huge,
direction.
huge.
Mike.
I feel happy about that, and and Carla thinks that I'm getting happy, and I don't get happy with this. I'm still moving slowly, but she thinks I'm flying around, and that my foot's going to come down on a Jake and the Neverland's Pirates action figure, and my ass is going to go straight down on the ground. I'll be back in the hospital.
What does your
but-
son say? Was he at all scared of the walker? Sometimes kids don't know what's going on.
Right, he's so cute about it. He looks me in the eye and he says, "Grandpa." No, No, he's a cute kid. No,
Oftentimes, the worst pain is in the morning because after you sleep for a while and everything sits still, you get up and the knee probably feels tight, and then it gets better throughout the day. How is your pain level when, like, you woke up this morning, say, 4 or 5 days ago?
The whole deal is, look, people have said this, that you will hear this from people. This is a procedure that the recovery time is nothing short of astounding. It's stunning to me. It's stunning
in its
how
speed
quickly you
or
recover.
how slow it is.
It's incredibly fast.
Oh, okay.
Look at me. I mean, it's just. I mean, if you look, they've got me, hacked open from here to here.
Yeah.
Getting back to my son, how do I say this delicately? Everybody knows that puppies and small children, when you're a man, and they jump on you, they inevitably go right for the balls.
Yeah.
That's just the way it happens every single time. Well, try getting a massive surgical scar, and the same thing is true. So when he jumps on me,
find it.
He tends to nail that part. But I'm happy about it. Yesterday was a really, really big deal with Dr. Salsa. I think Dr. Salsa came in, and when he gave me the big sign off, and I said, "Hey, I'm on the cane." Yeah. So, like 3. I would say maybe less than a week, maybe a week. Cane, bye-bye, all done.
Really?
And, yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Boom, bam.
That's fantastic.
Can-do guy, Rob. I'm a can-do guy. And guess what, Rob Spiewak?
What's that?
Because we talked about my cane, we're not going to let that Zoolander thing go with you.
Thank goodness.
Because I want to find out. I really, really want to peel the onion with this, and I want to find out exactly what the deal is, because you are not a guy that blows off a free party.
I think you're going to be disappointed. It just didn't work out.
Well, I don't think you've been grilled enough. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more fun and more thrills. You are listening to The Mike O'Mara Show.
Hey everyone, Intern Dotson here. The one whose microphone is never turned on. You know what tomorrow is? It's Wide Open Wednesday. Starting at 9 a.m., The Mike O'Mara Show takes your phone call. Want to be a small part of TMOS? Do you have a great story for the boys? Make sure to dial 888-920-MORE for your chance to talk to Mike, Rob, Oscar, and even Pony. Wide Open Wednesday starting at 9 a.m. That's 888-920-6673. And make it count.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Tracker. We all live in an era of smart cars, smartphones, smart homes. Technology has made everything smart until you lose something. Then you feel like a complete idiot. It's enough to make smart people feel dumb. But losing things now is a thing of the past thanks to Tracker. We've been telling you about Tracker for a long time. It is a coin-sized device that locates misplaced keys, wallets, bags, computers, anything, and it does it in seconds. Tracker is wonderful. All you have to do is pair it with your smartphone. You attach it to anything, and you can find its precise location with the tap of a button. It's that easy. If you lose your phone, just press the button on Tracker, and your phone rings, even when it's on silent. With over 1.5 million devices, Tracker has the largest crowd GPS network in the world, so your lost item will show up on a map, even if it's miles away. A lot of people are loving Tracker. Never lose anything again thanks to Tracker. TMOS listeners get a special 30% discount off their entire order. Just go to thetracker.com and enter the promo code TMOS. That's THE, tracker.com. The hardest thing you'll ever have to find is their website. Go to thetracker.com right now.
The time is right now.
Right. And use the TMOS code for 30% off. That's thetracker.com, code TMOS. So yesterday we were talking about the fact, and I don't know why this bugs me. I think I know why this bugs me.
Why do you think it bugs you?
We were talking about our former intern, Zoolander.
Family member, Mike.
Who's a family member because he has been so loyal to the show over the years. He was a good intern. He used to bring a very funny dynamic to the show, and he used to come in, and then he kept visiting, and then he's always online supporting us, and
I watched tickets to our show when he doesn't have to, volunteering his time. The man is an accomplished professional, and he's coming in our life.
Helped Oscar get through his accounting classes. Yeah,
he is coming to our sold out show at the DC Improv in November, and I think that's fantastic because he's all about the show, and we're grateful for that. And he's also very funny and he's nice. I mean, I remember the early days of this show when we didn't know we were going to fill buildings. We didn't know that people were going to come out and see us, and we'd go over to Jimmy's and hope that we'd get 50 people to show up. And Zoo was one of those guys that was with us and really gets into it and loves coming backstage when we're doing an event.
Yes.
So he's a really, really good kid. So when Oscar was getting the MBA, I was getting the hip thing done, and
the three of us, got invites to his wedding. He's our boy's growing up. He's getting
he had
he's
the
getting
correct
hitched.
address. He was polite about it, formal, perfect.
And yesterday we asked you about it, Rob, and then you just said no, just didn't feel like going. And I'll tell you something. I thought about that, and I want you to answer me honestly.
Okay.
Is there, because they're on air over the years, there was a little bit of conflict between you and
tension.
Zoo.
Well, yeah.
Little tension, and
I will say this preemptory of this
preemptively
preemptively of this.
Thank you,
comment.
Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. You're right.
Is that
Jesus.
I
Didn't think you were going to stroke out with the first answer there.
doing the best
I will
can.
say this.
All right, how about this?
Yeah.
Before we proceed, I would
Yes.
like to say this.
Yes.
I really wanted all along, and I think he was with us only in the podcast iteration. He was never with us in the terrestrial version of this show. He came
Was
on,
he on
when we
radio
were
or what?
He worked at WJFK.
He did
as well.
work at
Yes,
WJFK.
That was our connection.
All right. So early on, he came in with his dazzling white smile and
Here we
his
go. Hear the hate? Do you
and
hear
his
the, right there?
tiny
Did you
little
hear?
shirts.
Did you hate? Did you hear the hate in
Well,
that?
wait,
Did
no,
you hear
but-
the hate?
but you see, I
but it comes
wanted-
through you. I have to.
I
look, you're not
wanted
gonna
to
say-
hate him.
You're not going to say anything hateful, but it comes through when you say his dazzling white smile.
True enough. We
This
all know
is a
him. Have
man-
you seen anyone that's had whiter teeth than him
And-
ever
and-
in your life?
But like,
And
it's a
there-
bad thing. It's not a
Well,
bad
no,
thing to have white
but
teeth.
it's the jealousy factor. It's the jealousy factor.
And that is
That's what it
probably
is.
very likely why early on I wanted to hate him. I
He-
did.
He didn't come
All right.
from a broken home.
No.
He had a good relationship with his parents.
Mr. Speaker,
He is sort of the anti-Spiewak.
Mr. Speaker, I would posit that is not why you wanted to hate him. That is why you did hate him.
And I have told him this. I said, Zoolander, I've tried to dislike you, and it is simply impossible.
And you are lying through your
no.
teeth about
No,
that.
I like him a lot.
Then why didn't you go to his wedding when you got a wonderful invitation to that wonderful...
In fact, you immediately replied, "No, thank you."
Well,
That's
no,
it.
we did. We
That's
did
it.
save the date. We did save the date when we got the car.
Wait a minute. The save the date was like a year before the wedding invitations went out.
So we didn't decide that we weren't going to go immediately when the date was saved.
I wish I would so like to have a Russian hacker like get an audio tape from your home the day you and Carrie had that conversation, because I, for the life of me, think it went something like this. Hi, Rob. We've got that invite to Zoolander's wedding. Oh, F no. I'm not going to that. I'm not going to go to that. I'm not doing that.
F him.
No, so we got the
that's what I want to
invitation.
be. I want to be around a bunch of pretty people all day long.
Oh, so now
That's
you've
what I
taken it to
wanna
another
do.
level. It's not just him I hate. It's
No.
all pretty people.
You when he would bring his everybody of uniform size and weight to any event that we were doing, and they would all sit there, mostly women.
Yes.
Remember when he was surrounded by that?
Yes.
And
A gaggle of women.
a gaggle of women, and because of his, questionable sexuality, we thought that he was like the unthreatening
Now,
gay
who
man
is
that
saying
was bringing
hateful
out.
things
oh,
now?
No,
That's not hateful.
No, you're right.
I say it behind.
He could be androgynous at times.
Yeah. So maybe
When he
there was
when he misses the haircut by a couple weeks,
Yeah.
he's looking
Maybe-
especially pretty.
Maybe
That's
there
a
was
hot
that.
show.
That one
Oh.
night, that one night after Jimmy's, where it was me, Jimmy, and Jerky, and Zoolander, and Jerky in his best cop way, grilling Zoolander. Probably one of the funniest after-hours events I've
Oh
ever
my
been
God!
to.
I don't know that you.
Yeah.
I don't know that you ever even told us about that.
Oh, it's really kind of hazy, Rob. They're really getting the details are a little rough, but all I know is, Jerky, in his politically correct way,
As
kinda
he always
eyeballing
is,
Zoo.
yeah.
Just really just leaning back in his amphora diner chair and going, "So what are you anyway?" So it was pretty
Unit
politically
chicks
incorrect.
or dicks?
Oh, God, you got to bleep
I
that
can't
out.
say that?
Stop that.
Sorry.
Behave yourself.
Excuse
So
me.
the fact is that I think because he was the classic kind of metrosexual, and that's everything you've hated your whole life. You hate
Hate
people like
is
that.
such a strong
Yeah,
word.
He always had the right outfit for the occasion on.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He always had, as you mentioned earlier, a perfect haircut. He always was witty enough to come back at Rob, because a lot of people wouldn't fight back, right? He would always fight back.
Well, he had a catchphrase. I'm not sure that he was witty.
The F.U. Rob. That's what he would say all the time.
That's more funny than witty, I think, if we're going to split hairs. Perfectly
Yeah, so the
coiffed
F.U.
hairs.
That was it. But the thing is,
And then no gift on top. No
you
gift
see,
on top
that's
of that.
not a valid
No
issue.
gift.
No gift.
We're going to send a gift, and we always were going to send a gift. And I swear to Christ,
Have you thought it?
this
you know
is
you've
not
thought
about.
about how much you're going to spend.
I'll spend $100.
Oh, it's pretty big for Spiewak.
He's lying.
Pretty
He's
big.
lying about that.
What do you want me to do, Mike? Swear it on my children's lives? $20
No, it's not that important
times
to me that I
5.
want you to do that. I
But
don't want you to
it
do
is
that.
$100 gift. That is what I have allotted for that wonderful thin boy.
Wonderful thin boy.
Is it the weight? Is it the weight that gets you?
Sure.
Well, I don't know that that's enough weight to get anything. He's that small. No, he's just, like I said, on the surface, he is the anti-Spiewak. I should hate him. I should almost bully him because he is so counter to me. But
Okay,
he is
let's
so
hold on.
funny and so nice. I don't. I love him.
Let's talk about the weight thing
All right.
for a second. Let's talk about the weight. Now listen, I am in the
Listen.
same boat as you. I understand
Then
what
that
you're
boat's
coming
going
from.
down.
Would you like? I will share a conversation I had Sunday morning with my brother-in-law.
Okay.
Who heard the podcast where I was talking about having my terrible fall
Yes.
after my hip
Oh,
surgery.
I remember.
And the sympathetic conversation I had with my brother-in-law, as in mid-sentence he starts laughing. I said, "What? Tell me what?" He said, "Well, your sister and I were talking about the fact that it might have been similar to one of those manatee situations they have down in Florida, where the manatees are caught in the canal." As they are pushing them out to deeper water.
Dynamite
And,
was never considered as a solution.
and so, I'm with you. I understand that. I just think it's a deep-seated, maybe kind of resentment of our boy.
Well,
That's all. I won't
give you
Although
resentment.
I'm beating it into the ground.
I won't give you resentment. I will say there is some jealousy. What if? Let's say this. What if I had all of my personality? I was still mentally Rob Spiewak, but I was in his body.
Mm-hmm.
How weird would that be? But I would be unstoppable.
No, I
You'd be
used,
Ryan Seacrest.
I used to think that that.
And when I say inside his body, I'm not speaking anything that is
Sexual.
PG-13
No,
or
no,
dirtier.
no.
Well, I don't want to be cruel, but I would welcome the energy level. Anyway, sorry about that. But
Are you sorry?
What they're saying is the weight is holding you back.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I have a body type that is not going to ever allow me to be beautiful.
No, at one point for a good 3 months. How many years ago was that?
It was in the late 1970s.
Okay.
No, it was 2009ish.
In 2009, you peaked.
Yeah, I
right?
did.
That's when you were the best of the best.
And it
Spiewak.
still wasn't that great.
No,
Are you
it
talking
was
about?
great.
Are you talking about weight?
When
Are you
he
talking about
when
his
he
weight?
lost the weight and he looked like Jason Statham's cousin.
Yes, Jason Statham's bad cousin that was not invited to Jason Statham's wedding.
Remember that look? Remember?
Yeah, like he was about maybe 6 months away from really
Oh,
being able to get laid.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Right.
And it was the kind of guy that when you look at him, you say, hey, you know what? If he would just lose 30 pounds.
Right.
And I had already lost 110. So it's like, how far do I have to goddamn drive?
I didn't talk about this. I gained a ton when I went in for the procedure. When I came out of the anesthesia, when I left the hospital, I never dreamed this would happen. I was fatter than when I went in because when I came out of that anesthesia, I wanted food.
Sure.
And guess, here's the greatest. I never knew this before. Hospital food is this unbelievably calorie-laden stuff because they want to get you back to the caloric. That's
Right.
what. I mean, they had like steak with sauce on it and mashed potatoes, and I'm like going,
Could I have another one, please? Is that possible? Thank you. Just out of curiosity, lady with the hair net, do they have Dove bars anywhere in this
On premise?
hospital? In the hospital.
Could you look around the freezer section for something called a Magnum bar?
Yeah, no, they don't. It is hospital food.
Sure.
But I was super hungry, so I relate to this. I understand this, and I think that Zoo probably was, he was one. Rob, this was one of the first real like metrosexual kind of guys that now are everywhere.
Yeah,
Hollywood, the men with the 13-inch waist that you see in
he had
every
it
magazine.
before everyone else had it.
Yeah.
Look at the Emmy Awards or the Academy Awards now. These guys all have 12-inch waist. That's the standard now.
Right.
Back when you met Zoolander, that was not necessarily the standard,
Ashley-
and you wanted him dead.
But I don't anymore.
He wasn't part of pop culture yet.
I don't anymore. Yeah, he was ahead of the curve. He was ahead of the curve. But I don't want him dead now. I love the kid. He's a good guy. And I really do think he's a swell guy. And I love the Ashley.
Can you just admit that, I know Ashley's very sweet,
the best.
his wife.
Yes.
Can you just admit you forgot about him? You didn't make him a priority. You didn't send him a gift because you simply didn't care.
No, you don't have to buy a gift for the wedding day, you
Take
jerk.
the gift out of it. Take the gift out of it. I know you're upset about the gift, okay? But here, take the gift out of it.
I'm not upset about the gift. I'm upset that he keeps beating a horse that's
It
dead.
just wasn't a priority for you, right?
Well,
on any level whatsoever.
If you're not going to go to the wedding, it's not a priority, of course.
It's not a priority.
But I mean, I prioritized the fact that I told him I wasn't going to go. I sent him a
You
note.
You didn't tell him, did you?
I RSVP'd.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No.
Okay, that's not telling
Kick
him.
rocks.
Well,
I
that's not
got
telling him.
vacation to be on.
You formally responded in a formal way.
And I sent him a nice note on the day of his wedding.
Did you
on
put anything
Facebook.
personal? Did you put anything personal on the note?
I said, have
Like
a
when you-
boss wedding.
You did no such thing.
Cut and
Enjoy
paste.
your day. Sorry I won't get a chance to see your skinny ass walk down the aisle. You hump.
There you go.
No,
All right.
I did write him something personal. And Zoo, if you're listening, and I know
Wait a
you
minute.
are,
Wait, did
I
you
just
really?
want to say that I do think the world of you. I think you're great. And your
You
wife.
did not. You're lying. You're lying.
What am
Your
I? How am I lying?
You didn't. You wrote something personal to him?
On
Yes,
Facebook?
on Facebook.
Facebook doesn't count.
It does count.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
a private
Yes, it
message
does.
or a post?
A post.
Oh, please.
No, it does. If you get in the snail mail, if you get the regular wedding invite, a true personal thing would be jotting a little something down on the response.
I see.
That
Did you do that?
Facebook, huh?
Did you do that?
No, but I also sent him a gift, pal.
And I'm going to send him a gift too. So we're tied.
I went into his registry and got him a gift.
You're
I
not
swear to
tied.
God.
He got his gift in before they got married.
You don't need to do that. You have a year to do it. Read a flippin' book, okay?
Oh, I have.
And you know what
Plenty.
I'm going to do? You're going to get a wedding gift from me if the marriage happens, and that's still up in the air. But if you do get married, you'll get a wedding gift on day 364, and it'll still be polite.
When would the gift serve the couple better?
I'm looking it up, and I'm trying to see. I'm looking at my smartphone to see what I got. because I know
Wouldn't the gift serve them more once they were married, so they don't have to buy it just in case nobody gets it for them?
Not necessarily if it's on the registry.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if
it remains on the registry, then they don't have it. Right?
But the logic stands that you would rather have that gift before you get married, so you don't have to say we're going to use our wedding money to pick up that because nobody got that for us.
What if
I found it?
Money?
It's in my phone. I found
Yes.
what I got him. I finally found it. I got it right
What was
here.
it?
You want to know what it is?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you.
It's a new Corvette. Well, then I have to revise my statement. I'm an a-hole.
Hey, Rod, you tell us what the new bride and groom are driving away.
It's a new Corvette. And the good thing is that with him and his friends, that's a car for 8.
All right, we will take a break.
I love you,
When
Sue.
I'm sure you do. Anyway, we will come back and we'll talk about lizards and a barbecue restaurant that I felt guilty about hating. All that coming up on the Mike O'Mara Show. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of our program brought to you by Stamps.com. There's got to be a better way to mail and ship stuff. Going to the post office takes up way too much time, and leasing a postage meter is way too expensive. Well, it turns out there is a better way. Stamps.com, the better way to buy postage. With Stamps.com, you use your own computer and printer to buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package. Stamps.com is a fraction of the cost of one of those expensive postage meters. You love Stamps.com, don't you, Rob Spiewak?
It's fantastic. You know, I kill it with Stamps.com at the holidays. I do so much shipping. I don't spend my life at the post office. I do it all at my home computer. It's great.
You can save at least 50% compared to a postage meter, plus no more time-consuming trips to the post office. You'll even get special postage discounts that you can't get at the post office. We have used Stamps.com for years, and we adore it. It saves us time and money. Right now, you can use our code TMOS for this special offer, a 4-week trial, plus a $110 bonus offer that includes postage and a digital scale. Get started with Stamps.com today. Within minutes, you will be printing postage from your own desk. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in TMOS. That's Stamps.com and TMOS. You will never have to go to the post office again, ladies and gentlemen. Florida wildlife update. Mrs. O'Mara came in with this one and reported this to me yesterday. She was out. You guys have been down here not in the summer months, so I don't know whether you've seen this
March,
a lot.
and the baptism was in October, wasn't it?
Yes.
When we were down. So we've never been down in the summer.
You may not have seen, there is one element of wildlife down here in the wilds of South Florida that I am seeing more than I've ever seen. And it's so much a part of life that I don't really think twice about it, but they are the little geckos, the little lizards.
When we were
little
down,
gecko geckos.
when we did the first road trip, when we took the whole show down, and we were down there in March, we rented a house, and there were fighting lizards outside. I remember that. Remember,
it's like a
in
death
the backyard?
match.
Yeah, it was awesome, like a video game.
So Mrs. O'Mara comes back into the house yesterday and said, "You'll never believe what I saw." She was going out to the car, and you can answer this for me. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Intertwined, like in this little death wrestle, are these two geckos. Now, normally you can't get within 12 inches of these geckos. They'll take off. They will fly off in the other direction. She walked right up to them, almost touching them. She didn't touch them, but she was looking right down at them, and they are motionless. And she said they're dead. They're completely dead. In a complete twisted, like they were fighting to the death or something like that. She goes off, comes back, the same spot. They're gone. So they weren't dead. They weren't dead. Does this mean, Pony, can you look up, or can somebody look up when lizards mate?
Yeah.
Or how,
That's a category that he has bookmarked.
Yeah, it's already open on my computer.
How geckos mate? Because I'm curious. I'm curious.
What when you take Viagra when you
What?
you have the symptoms for too long?
4 hours. Call a doctor.
Yeah, more than 4 hours.
Maybe
that's what goes down.
Let me just mention one thing here. Not to toot my own horn, but, I just want to say that not only is Daddy off the walker, but, Daddy might be on other things, if you know what I mean.
Hey!
Poor Carla.
Yeah.
I know. I just did that to gross Oscar out, and also to toot my own horn. Thank you very much.
Have you involved
Mom,
the cane
he
in
got
that?
on top of me again.
Yeah. The nerve that's connected to the Schwanz was not severed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Can you cover
very
that
much.
scar up, please?
Yeah.
Ruining the moment.
Oh, you
She's-
popped 3 staples.
She's a wonderful lady. Yeah. Believe me, I'm still looking at it.
Do
She had to
you
look
hold
away.
on to the walker while it's happening?
No, I basically lie flat on my back, Oscar. Thank you very much for asking, and I probably will be for quite some time.
Is this something that Dr. Salsa has you doing?
No, Dr. Salsa has me actually elevating my leg when I'm doing this, because sitting for a long period of time kind of gets me. As a matter of fact, I probably should be standing up shortly, or I'm going to lose consciousness. No.
So you elevated the other thing on your own without
I
Dr.
elevated
Salsa's.
it. I'm proud of that. So I
You
thought
should
I'd
be.
mention that. Thank
Tony,
you.
any
Thank you very much.
feedback on the lizards?
Yeah, that's exactly what they were doing. At least what you described is matching.
They were doing the
picture I'm
nasty.
seeing.
They were getting jiggy with it. That's what they were up to.
Good old
Which one was
lizard
Mike?
love.
Who lays on their back?
Who has a scar? Was there a tiny cane?
I don't know, because they're pretty twisted up.
Does it explain why they stay still?
No, I would imagine it's the same reason
Really
all men
don't-
stay still.
Stay
after
still,
sex.
right? The moment, yeah, Rob.
Ah.
Let me explain that to you. You know, we all kind of freeze up at that moment.
Well, yeah,
It was-
but I mean, how long is that moment? Because if they stayed still long enough for her to touch them.
No, she probably caught them in the moment of, nirvana, that moment of ecstasy. That's what happened. And then but I'll tell you, the place is crawling with them. And the cool thing is they eat bugs, so they keep the
They're
bug
great for the
population down.
ecosystem.
Sure.
They're wonderful for the ecosystem. And I've really always wanted to catch one and just hold it in my hand.
I think I know why they were so open to Carla approaching them, is that
Why's
maybe they wanted a 3-way.
Swingers.
Thank you.
Swingers, Mike.
They had little white rocks in their front
right.
yard.
Florida.
Thank you.
Wild,
Thank you very
baby.
much. Now
You
back
like
to
jazz.
you. I have to get Mr. Santana in here. You were mentioning Luca and soul crushing
Yes.
or something along those lines. What happened with little Luca? By the way, your nephew Luca, one of the cutest kids I've ever
How
seen.
old is
Just a
he now?
wonderful kid.
10.
Oh my God! When we first met him, he was like 4.
Yes.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yeah.
They're all
That is
grown up. Thank you,
absolutely-
Mike. I think one of the main themes throughout graduation and talking to my niece and nephew is that higher education is important. It's important to celebrate family and work with family and make sure that they know that there's some support.
Sure.
Right? And the reason why he was at graduation, and I think my sister was really reiterating this to him, is because we're working towards a better life and some more opportunities, right?
And God, at 10, I mean, he will be graduating high school just in 8
Yes,
years. I mean, it's in his
absolutely, right?
future. He's got to know what's ahead of him.
So he said something along the lines yesterday to me because they're in town for 2 weeks, Mike. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, it's family.
He says, Tio Oscar, Mommy always says if you work hard, you'll be able to afford some of the nicer things in life. How come your house is so small?
I finally saw a picture of it when we were on break last week. I finally saw that. It's exactly what I pictured it would be. It really. I came this close. When I got you your little gift for graduation.
Thank you very much. I wasn't so little. I appreciate it.
Let me ask you this question. I came this close to buying that on Touch of Modern, that super ultra compact modern air conditioner. And I just, you are such a tech guy. I know you would have been like 9 miles ahead of me with that, and you would not have probably, you probably have already tested it out.
Very thoughtful of you.
Would you have used it if I got
Mike,
you that?
I ordered it already. It hasn't arrived yet.
I knew it.
Trust me.
I knew that was the right call.
We're on the same page.
That's right.
And I said, Luca, look, I'm not going to bore you with this, but it's real estate's location. He said, but it's so old.
Out
Are
of
you
the mouths
progressing?
of babes.
I mean, with all
there
the
hasn't
graduation
been
and
much
stuff like
progression.
You had a busy week, so
I had a
obviously you
busy
probably
week,
didn't do
yes.
much home
There is
improvement.
a to-do list, and Tony and I, my new best friend Mike, he's a listener. He's actually helped me out. He's helped me plan out any type of renovation that may be happening.
The house is so small, and it's
God,
so hot inside.
I so wish that I had Oscar's network down here. There's so much I need to do down here. I would love to have that. I swear to God, my ass still hurts from last week when I got.
Oh, dear.
We put in
That's
3
that
lighting
cane.
fixtures. We put in 3 lighting fixtures, and I don't think it's fair to mention the company because I don't want to trash it.
Sure.
Mr. Sparky, but they came out here and
You
and
called
so
Mr. Sparky?
I called
That's
Mr.
the
Sparky.
one thing you don't want with an electrician is Sparky.
Let me tell you what Mr. Sparky was about. Mr. Sparky, here's the thing, and you get this with all home help companies, whether it's air conditioning, electric, plumbing. The convenience, you have your convenient. This is the equation: ratio of convenience and speed to price.
Yep.
Okay? And the fact is, if you want to use John's electric service and wait 2 weeks when single old John, who's out in his own truck, wants to roll into your house, you're probably going to get a better deal.
Quality
than,
service as well.
Than Mr. Sparky with the shiny new truck and the little stupid cartoon on the side of it that rolls out like in 11 minutes and charges you. And here's the thing. I said to Carla, if it's this amount of money, we'll go for it.
Okay.
And it ended up being like $10 more than that. And Carla looks at me with the raised eyebrows. I'm like, I just want to get it
Let's
done.
just get it over with.
And that's how they get you. They know you
Mike,
want to get it done.
Mike, when you mention Mr. Sparky, I know this is for a different style of business, but I picture this commercial.
The chimney sweep is here. The chimney sweep is here. A step in time. Gonna make your chimney shine. You know why? Give us a try.
Spell Sparkey.
So the guy rolls in and he has all the skills required, licensed, bonded, whatever.
How old
of an
is the
electrician. The guy would be early 40s, late 30s. you know.
Experienced, though.
Like he's not still in his douchebag 30s, but he
Right.
might have gotten out of him
Did he
about a half
give
an
the
hour ago.
read that maybe he used to be his own guy and he
No.
gave up and then he went with a firm?
No, down here everything is just it's just competent. There's
Yeah.
there are a lot of people. It's a lot of people that do that kind of
Think
work.
he's got a record?
You got no. That I
Any
will
prison
tell
tats?
you, not a chance.
Teardrops?
Not a chance.
Yeah.
No.
3 teardrops, Mike. You got to watch.
Bad news.
No,
You're back.
no, there was no cracker factor whatsoever. This guy was, but here's the one thing I will tell you. This is what frustrated me. The skill set was all the good skill sets that you get for being an electrician. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, he fixed my little track lighting in here.
Oh.
Let me see if I.
Oh, much
Yeah.
better. Look at Mike. You even
beautiful.
look
Hi,
so
how
much
are you?
better.
How's
Now
that,
I just
huh?
remember to turn it on.
Just remember, Mr. Sparky.
Thank you, Mr. Sparky. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so he rolls in, and his skill set, he's fine, but he lays out. He lays out the estimate, and as soon as he lays out the estimate, inside, I'm giving the Napoleon sigh. I say, "Oh, so it's that for all 3 items? Okay."
It is brutal. I know your pain.
So it sucks, and I'm immediately in a different mindset as I'm trapped in this house, and I'm with him as Carla goes off with the little guy to do whatever, and I'm sitting there, with my computer while, Sparky Man goes and hops around the house and does
John
all this
Sparky?
stuff. John Sparky. And so here's the thing. His skill set was fine, solid, but he had another skill set that he valued even more, that he valued more than just doing the work that I wanted done. You know what that skill set was?
What?
He fancied himself Mr. Salesman. Mr. Salesman.
No.
Johnny Upsellerino. Johnny Humpadoodle. Johnny make the customer spend more. No, I got news for you, Sparky. After you gave me that effing estimate, I don't want to spend 1 nickel, and I'd appreciate if you slid me an effing 20 on your way out the door.
How did he upsell the installation of light fixtures?
I'll tell you. Here's
you.
how it went. This is how the whole thing. The first thing I gotta list them because there were 2 or 3. The one that really jumps out came out at the very, very end, and he's going through. Oh, okay. The 2 were whole house surge protection. And
BS.
Because of what we do here, and Oscar will tell you, Oscar and I put it in together. We got surge protectors out the ass here. We're fine in the surge. But I got to listen to this 10-minute. The surge. Now, normally people do this with the whole house, but if you have each of them, it's not going to be helping your television sets. And a lot of times you're doing it, and I'm inside, I'm nodding because I'm a cripple, and I'm sitting there.
That's
and
all
I've got
you
a
can
scar,
do. Yeah.
And I'm looking over that, and meanwhile I'm going, shut up and put in the light fixture, douche, please. And he's going on. And then at the very end, okay, we're at the finish line, and I contracted to have these lights in here, put on and a couple outside, and he forgot the last one. He said, well, all set to go. And I said, maybe with all that upselling, you might have forgot the fact that you didn't do the third thing you said you were going to do. So he goes in, and he takes care of it. Very, very quick, easy peasy, no problem at all. And then right before he's going to leave, he sits there, and he puts the last fixture in right in our doorway here. And he looks over to the left and he goes, oh, boy. I'm like, okay, here it comes. Because at this point, I'm just waiting. Okay, hold on. Let me position myself up on the couch on my knees, okay? Let me do that. Let me do that for you. And he turns around and he says, oh, these smoke detectors. I said, oh, yeah, they're old and need replacing, right? At this point, I'm a little bitter. And he said,
thank God.
Yeah, you can get. I said, and he says to me, I said, yeah, well, I think I'm going to take care of that. When I'm up and running around.
Yeah, you can get the Nest Protect. You're good to go, yeah.
I'm going to get the battery, put it in.
The Wi-Fi.
He said, yeah. And he looks at me, and this is the last conversation we had. I said, yeah, I'll take care of that. When I'm up and rolling around, I'll get up there. I've been meaning they're good to go. They got batteries. And he said, well, if you want to, if you're comfortable, here's what he said. If you're comfortable with these old ones, I looked at him and I said, you know what, pal? I'm more than comfortable with them. I am more than comfortable with that. And look, was he competent? Yes. Was he pleasant? Yes. Did he love to upsell? Yes. Was the price point high, so high as to make upselling for me an offensive process? Yes, thank you. So that's just my little. Other than that, but it's competent. It got done.
Yeah.
The work is great. It's fine, but it's that's
But you
where
can have the other side of the spectrum where when yesterday I was at my parents' house all day, right, hanging out with the family. We heard the tension coil for the garage break, which is dangerous in its own way.
Oh, for the opener.
For the opener, go, boom!
Oh, it's a
I
hard
thought something fell out of the attic onto a car.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
I ran outside. I said, "Whoa!" And we tried to open the garage and work. We finally realized it was the tension coil. And my brother-in-law, who's in town as well, handy guy, a pediatric cardiologist, he said, maybe we can.
By the way, that's what we referred to the studio at WJFK as for the last year that we were working there. Okay, who's going to the tension coil today? Thank you very much.
Remember the day it broke?
We said maybe we can repair it ourselves.
That's for you. That's for you, dude. That one was for you. That was just for you, that joke. We have not catered this show to you. That line was. Thank you very much. Yes, go ahead, Oscar.
So we looked online. We said, oh, a tension coil, $60 for this garage.
Sure.
And then I looked at him. I said, wait. Let's really value our time here. It's going to take us probably 4 to 5 hours to do this. Let's get a professional out here, and they could probably knock it out in 2, and we'll pay for it. Right?
And then you don't lose an eye.
Yes. And it said it was every YouTube video for DIYing this thing said it was dangerous. So be careful. I said, you know what? We've got a lot of bills to pay for. Let's just take care of it. And I'll go online. I find Mr. and Mrs. Garage, right? So I'm like, all right, let's call them. They're open till 9 p.m.
It's a mom and pop, Mike.
Yes. I call, Mrs. answers, and she's got...
Hello, Mrs. Garage. We'd love to go to the Santana's house to fix his tension coil, but of course, I haven't a thing to wear. Hello.
I explained her, I give her the dress. We're in their area they serve. She says, let me get my technician on the line. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun to role play with. And it's Mr. Right. It's Mr. Garage, right? So,
hello. What do you want?
He asked me if the garage is wood or steel or aluminum. I go out and knock on the...
You talk to the little woman, huh?
I'll be there in a second, honey.
Did they come out and fix it?
They came out this morning.
And was it expensive?
It was expensive, but I'll say this. They tried, because I got the call this morning from my father. He says we might need a new garage door. And I said, no.
A door?
No, do not need a door, old
That's
man.
their deal.
Just get the coil and get moving. That's
if
it.
there's a mister in front of it, they're going to upsell you. Just get used to it.
That's the rule.
It's our lesson for today. We will take a break, come back with news you may not need. Mike O'Mara's show. Thank you very much, Mrs. Garage.
It's Tony and Gary.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tony Perkins.
Hi, and I'm Gary Stein for our new sponsor, Hellman's Mayonnaise Light.
Just the light one? Couldn't get the full-bodied one?
I think everybody needs a little help.
Speaking of that, Rob Spiewak is with us.
I'm just here. I have a brand new app. I captured 2 podcast hosts.
Speaking of that, we are going to be focusing on Pokemon Go. Plus, we're going to play Gary Stein's Pop Culture Challenge Spectacular.
Maybe this time you'll win.
Shut up. Check it out, TonyPerkinsShow.com. Subscribe on iTunes and download the Tony Perkins Show app.
Jesus, buy a T-shirt.
In a larger size.
The Tony Perkins Show.
Wow. Shock jock.
Some friction.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Bowl and Branch. Do you know the most important thing you can do to ensure a good day? Do you? Do you? It's getting a good night's sleep the night before. One company that is set out to make that possible is Bowl and Branch. Bowl and Branch has reinvented sheets and bedding with the sole purpose of making your nights more comfortable than ever. As someone who has spent a lot of time in recovery after this surgery, I love my Bowl and Branch. You will too. Their bedding is so soft, it'll be the new standard of comfort you'll measure everything else by. Get their products at one place, bowlandbranch.com, where you're only paying for quality sheets, not department store overhead. Amazing, luxurious, 100% organic cotton sheets for a couple of $100. Visit Bowl, that's B-O-L-L, and branch.com, and you can try them out risk-free for 30 nights. Even better, go to bowlandbranch.com today for 20% off your entire order. That's a great deal. Sheets, towels, blankets, duvet covers, everything, plus free shipping. Just remember the promo code TMOS. Also, they have the Fair Trade certification. They donate a portion of every sale to fight human trafficking. They're good folks. Remember bowlandbranch.com and the promo code TMOS. That's B-O-L-L and branch.com and TMOS. Go get your sheets and do it today.
News.
Our top story today, potentially life-changing, and it should be important to all Americans, so listen carefully. Starbucks. They're in the building,
Yes.
just below our studio. They just announced that their baristas are now allowed to dye their hair any color they want.
Wow.
Yeah. No matter how weird it is, they can dye it any color they want. Isn't that
Good
great?
news,
How
Julia.
about they get the coffee out on time?
Blue, purple, green, anything goes.
Hey,
And
there's a
instead of-
red hair on my coffee cake.
Yes, instead of having to wear, if you were wondering what type of man gets the cake in Starbucks, you just heard from him, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
it's a good fat joke, Mike, but it doesn't work with coffee. It has to be a food product.
I know. Instead of having to wear a Starbucks cap, also, this is the other modification.
Mike, I'm wearing my Starbucks cap.
They can wear. This will be good news. They can wear a fedora or a bowler.
A bowler.
Oh,
That's
there
right.
you go.
That's good. With their monocle and waxed mustache?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
it's because like a punk coffee.
Look for purple hair, fedoras, bowlers as soon as the
Mike,
Democratic
quick-
National Convention is over.
Quick
ladies and gentlemen.
sidebar. If you don't mind, Rob, tell him what happened this morning at Starbucks.
Oh, Oscar loves technology, right?
Right.
And so he's always, okay, see you later, losers. I just ordered my coffee on my phone. I'm going down to get it. And so we have a guest in the studio today at Starbucks at 8:45, so I could walk him up, and he wanted to get a cup of coffee. Line was long, so I waited there with him. Saw Oscar come in, and he said, "Yeah, I just ordered my order on my phone, so I'll see you later." And I said, we're going through the line anyway. You want us to pick?" No, I got it.
Yeah, that
We
would
walked
interfere
by-
with the technology.
We got our coffee and walked by him. Said, "Oscar, see you later. See you upstairs."
Enjoy
I
yourself.
felt like such a rube.
Standing
such
there.
a rube.
Eyes like one of those paintings in that movie with Christoph Waltz. Just huge eyes.
Congratulations. Good luck with that speedy app. Anyway, the fedoras, they loosened up the dress code to, quote, provide more room for self-expression, which is what I want at my coffee shop.
Yeah, but a
More
fedora is going to
self-expression.
take up much more room than a cap.
Justin Timberlake was at a celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. If it's the one in Tahoe, I think it's the big celebrity one that Mark Rippon used
Oh,
to
that's
play
right.
in.
Yeah.
One. It'll be on TV, so we'll see it. But he's at Tahoe on Saturday. Supposed to be a good golfer, too. Well, some guy slapped him in the face as he was making his way through the crowd.
Oh, no.
my God.
There's video of it. It's unclear what the guy was trying to do. Maybe he wanted to hit him, or maybe he just wanted to touch his beautiful baby. He didn't hit Justin enough to hurt him. Justin felt it, though, and immediately stopped, looked back at the guy, and said, "Why would you do that?" Then he walked away. He later declined to press charges. The guy told security he just wanted to touch Justin.
Wow.
God.
Scary.
Man, oh, man.
Scary
That is
times,
scary.
man.
It's weird that Lance Bass has really sunk to that.
It's really weird. But when they tried to escort him out, he refused. Supposedly he was drunk. And when he started to get belligerent, the police came to arrest him for disorderly conduct. Todd Moore, come on. Man, chill. Really. Please, thank you. It sounds like Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne are trying to make it, even though Sharon is still a little hesitant to jump all the way back in. On Good Morning America yesterday, Ozzy talked about the ups and downs, quote, "Some days it's good, some days it's terrible, some days you just drift apart for a while, but then you get back on the horse." You know? Later in the day on The Talk, Sharon responded. Here, communicating with each other through national television shows. I think that's probably not the best way to get it done. But she responded on The Talk saying,
I forgive. It's going to take a long time to trust, but we've been together 36 years, 34 of marriage, and it's more than half of my life.
so, I don't know. Can't think of life without him, she says, even though he's a dog. He's a dirty dog. So there we are. He's going to pay for it, though. Big time.
Wow, it's
So-
really not appropriate for her to call anyone a dog, is it?
A lot of people have said this is a scam, too, that this is completely contrived for her ratings on The Talk, and I would say something like this makes it seem a little more believable.
Did you ever watch The Talk?
No, thank
I
you.
looked in on it yesterday, and I really enjoyed one part. I normally hate the show.
Really?
But Julie Chen was talking about that Les Moonves is really loud when he eats.
That's funny. I like that.
I like that because I'm
That's
not
cool.
a fan. Not
That
a
is
fan.
cool.
Yeah.
Our former boss. Well, this should put enough doubt and suspicion in your mind to keep you occupied all day long at work. A new survey has found the month when people are most likely to cheat on their significant other is July.
Oh, running out of time, Oscar.
July, ladies
Damn
and
it.
gentlemen.
Hurry up.
Yeah, like right now, this very minute. Here. all 12 months in order from when someone is most likely to cheat till they're least likely to
All right.
cheat. July is number 1, June, September, January, May, August, March, October, December, November, February, and April. I would think April would be like right up there because it's like steam heat, spring, buds bursting, everybody all glands active and all
I would
that,
think December would be the least likely because you're so busy with holiday stuff.
You've packed on that holiday weight.
That's right. Or
Very
just
surprising.
maintained.
And now a story specifically for the TMOS Elite Whiskey Society. A restaurant in Sydney, Australia, just created a new bacon cheeseburger on a bagel, and it's got a shot of bourbon jammed in the hole.
That's a category.
Jam.
Now, Rob, you're a bourbon drinker.
Love
but I don't
bourbon,
know.
yeah.
Would you take a bacon cheeseburger with bourbon in the hole?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want it like infused in the burger. People are always trying to make bacon and bourbon be a thing. And I'm not a fan. I like them separately. If it's just like a shot of bourbon in it, then maybe, sure.
Why not?
I don't know. I seem to remember I had a relationship with one of my wives. I think we played a game called Bourbon in the Hole. No, I'm sorry. The burger has...
it burns.
It has bacon that's glazed with bourbon and a bourbon bar. Someone really needs to steal this idea and bring it to America. No, they don't. Please don't do that. Leave it at home. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a little something. There is a 25-year-old guy from Aberdeen, Washington, who got high on a ton of synthetic marijuana last week. Then he wandered over to a stranger's house and went on a very odd rampage. His pants. Then he pooped on the driveway. Then he grabbed a garbage can and started having sex with it.
Oh.
Okay.
The cops came. Okay, Bunny.
yeah.
Glad
When
you're
does
okay
it-
with that.
when does it get
Thanks
weird?
Thanks for that affirmation. I think that's terrific. All right, what else? Yeah, thanks.
It's a normal Monday for him.
The cops came and took him to a hospital for an evaluation. There's no word on what charges he might be facing. How many times on this show do we have to say it? If you're planning to poop in your neighbor's driveway, please have sex with the trash can first, please. And don't smoke the synthetic stuff. Grow your own in your parents' backyard like the good kids do. Please. Okay? Not that synthetic. Please. We will take a break and come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
This week on Americast.
I discovered TMOS was a podcast, I think, in early 2010 when I was living in upstate New York, and I've been listening ever since. The thing that's really stuck me in is so much the fact that, it can go in any direction. And really, it's like the players are kind of opening themselves up to you. Like they're opening up their lives to you.
So go to the TMOS app and download Americast. Meet John Crandall, P1 fan of TMOS and more broadcasting. Find out more about him and hear about all the shows on Americast.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Vistaprint. We've been telling you for a long time, Vistaprint is the best, and this deal remains absolutely unbeatable. Right now, you can get 500 business cards for just $9.99 when you enter promo code TMOS at checkout. 500 cards for under $10. You're still sending us your cards from Vistaprint, and we appreciate it, Rob Spiewak.
I have a very special one. This comes from an investigation and protection guy. He's an investigation and security specialist. He's actually based in New Jersey, but comes to D.C. a lot. It's a beautiful two-sided card of Gary Stein.
Oh, nice.
Is it a PI? Is it a private investigator?
Gary Stein is a licensed private investigator. He this on the Tony Perkins show.
Hi, I've got a videotape of your wife.
And also buy a T-shirt.
Buy a
wonderful.
T-shirt.
But anyway, the card is beautiful. Look, he has both sides, and he has, what do you call that? That scannable
QR
thing?
scan.
It has the QR scan right
QR
on
code.
it. It's so cool.
Vistaprint cards make it easy and affordable to make a great first impression. It's never been so easy to look so professional. Customizable front and back. You can upgrade the card stock, add a fancy finish, even raise print. Just remember to use the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com and you'll get 500 business cards for $9.99. That is a 50% savings. Vistaprint.com. Create your custom card. And remember, use the promo code TMOS. Go to Vistaprint.com and order yours today. Without further ado, let's open up the Audio Vault for Tuesday, July 25, 2016. Rob Spiewak.
Sometimes audio vaults lean towards musical, and today is one of those days. Do you know the name Marnie Nixon?
Ooh.
No, I don't.
Marnie Nixon is the only real time she ever had in Hollywood. She played one of the nuns in The Sound of Music.
Oh, yeah.
But you know her voice. She is...
I remember her like it was yesterday. Oh, that one.
But here's the deal. She
The 1968 movie.
She was sort of a stunt singer on some of the biggest movies that were ever made. She worked up until just a few years ago. She was one of the singers on Mulan.
Okay.
But here's the deal. When you saw the movie A West Side Story and you saw Natalie Wood up on the screen, she did the acting, but Natalie Wood did not sing. It was the voice of Marnie Nixon. This is Marnie Nixon singing in West Side Story.
Tonight, it all began tonight.
And it was sort of a secret at the time, but the people that were with the orchestra started talking about the fact, well, Natalie, she's not doing the singing. It's Marnie Nixon. And so the
Didn't
secret
she do
got
that
out.
on My Fair Lady too? Oh,
Yes.
sorry, Oscar. I'm driving right into the Queen College with
No,
him.
Mike, I'm so
can't
glad
help
you bring
myself.
that up because actually one of the weird things,
She did all the singing for Julie Andrews, right?
Not Julie Andrews, for Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn in
So
My
they
Fair
couldn't
Lady.
sing?
No, but they could act, and they were names, and they had faces.
You couldn't get away with that these days.
But here's
There's no
what's,
chance.
This is what's so cool. I played this. Listen to the very beginning of this from My Fair Lady. They actually do a small crossfade from Audrey Hepburn's voice into Marnie Nixon's voice, and if you listen very carefully, you can hear the voice change in the actual soundtrack.
The rain in Spain says me.
Did you hear where it's doubled on the word rain? That's where they actually do the cross.
Rain in Spain says me in the plain.
By George, he's got it.
And also, as a small piece of trivia, the first time anyone ever won $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the answer was Marnie Nixon.
Wow.
All right,
That's
give me
trivia.
just a second here. Hold on a second. Okay, come on back in. Back in. I'm just letting the listeners back into the show.
Very good.
Thank you.
They're here
Thank
just
you.
in time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
We
it.
had a beautiful singer on in Marnie Nixon. You know who didn't sing so pretty?
Who's that?
Paul Simon last night at the convention.
No.
And
First
also,
of all, and they let him hang out there, Sarah Silverman, and because I was thinking, well, it's the First Lady. There's some security concern. No, they were waiting for Paul Simon's band to get their act together.
So he
Come
could
on.
bomb.
and the
Yeah.
thing is he sang a song, Bridge Over Troubled Water, that he didn't sing. This is the equivalent of bringing Ringo in to sing Hey Jude. It's from the group, but he didn't sing it. I wonder, it was so bad if he could even hear his band or himself. But check this out. This is really one of the most notable moments from last night's convention.
When darkness comes and pain is all around, oh, just like
Oh, please stop. Oh, God, that's horrible. You know, it's just, and the thing is,
I felt bad for him, and he looks great.
The most recent performance, I think, was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when he was up there with Art Garfunkel.
Right.
And Art Garfunkel crushed
Killed it.
Yeah.
Killed
it.
it.
Was, it is absolutely in my top 10 of
Oh, it's
favorite songs in the
beautiful.
whole world. The song moves me, and he gets up there, and it was
He
frustrating
punted.
to watch.
Yeah,
it's
he
like
did.
he didn't
punted.
want to be there.
Yeah, he punted. Well, he's always got that vibe anyway. When he's, I didn't care for it.
Of course, Art
Didn't like it.
Garfunkel's been able to preserve his instrument because he hasn't had a booking in 25 years.
He hasn't. That's true. But man, could he sing it at that?
Yeah.
You remember the one, Rob?
Oh,
we both
God.
watched it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Where he hit the high note and everything. It was
And
great.
remember, Art Garfunkel trashed a hotel room in Iowa City once. I always like to bring that up. This one's for you.
Yes.
Oh, on The Bachelorette last night. It was so
man.
sad for Chase.
Chase.
Chase got to go into the fantasy suite with JoJo, and he said, "JoJo, I love you." And JoJo sent him home.
Yeah, too soon, Mike.
Oh, way too
Oh,
soon.
it's a
Too
shame.
soon.
This is
Such
so,
a shame.
so
I don't
awkward.
care. I
Here
don't
we go.
care.
I'm definitely not scared, and I want to say that I'm 100% in love with you.
When you said that to me, I don't think I felt what I thought I was going to feel. I want... No. Talk to me. I want you to...
I didn't talk to you. I mean, I just threw myself
Yeah, baby talk.
This...
out. So now love equals get the out.
No.
Wow.
Just, I'm trying to be fair, and I'm trying to be honest, and I'm trying to not let what happened to me happen to you. Blindsiding you or not being fair and not being honest.
You kind of just did all that.
Wait, I think and Chase that nobody I think
Yeah,
is seeing
it comes
here.
through there.
No. He's setting himself up to be the Bachelor.
Yeah, you know
Okay.
what?
He's-
You're right.
he's-
You're absolutely right.
He's top tier, right? He's made it to the finals. He's he puts the "I love you" out there, so America's panties all fall around their ankles,
right?
And then they vote him the Bachelor.
You know, I will tell you, it's an interesting point you make, but I don't care.
All right. Then let us close with this, Mike. The world of Pokemon continues to go crazy. Pokemon Go, even in the world of soccer.
The manager of Manchester United, probably the most iconic soccer team, banned his players from playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, the Manchester United manager said, "I want my players thinking about soccer, not some fun game where interesting things happen."
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Tuesday, everybody. Stay cool.
Soccer still taking its hits. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Mike O'Mara Show. Be sure and join us every day on the air or online at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Hey, hi to the people down in Ocean City, and we thank you. Want to give you that new address one more time to mail us anything that doesn't stink or tick. Our address is TMOS, Box 32101, Washington, D.C., 0007. That's 32101 Washington, D.C. 20007. Our show today was brought to you by Warby Parker. Look at my new frames. Woo. Look at these. Look at these gorgeous frames here, guys. See those?
Nice.
Those are my newbies. Want to thank listener Brett Whitmarsh for putting in his Warby Parker order.
He's
We
great.
appreciate that. We love Warby. They're the answer. No more outrageously priced eyewear. Prescription glasses start at just $95, and that includes frames, lenses, and coating. Plus, choosing frames is convenient and easy with the free home try-on program. You can try out 5 pairs for 5 days. Go to warbyparker.com/TMOS and choose your 5 favorite styles, and they're shipped to you with no obligation. Then you have 5 days for family and friends to help you decide which frames are best for you. Warby Parker, your alternative to overpriced eyewear, because there's no middleman. They sell directly to the customer. Check them out at warbyparker.com/TMOS. Go to warbyparker.com/TMOS to pick out your 5 favorite frames, and they'll ship them to you for free. That's warbyparker.com/TMOS to get started with a free home try-on kit. warbyparker.com/TMOS. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara inviting you to join us again for your favorite part of the day, the Mike O'Mara Show. So long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.